Welcome back to the Art of Persuasion. I'm Lauren Zammit. Okay, so we've covered the first of our three modes of persuasion, logos, ethos, and pathos. Today, let's look at the second. Ethos, the next component of persuasion, is the task of establishing your character as a speaker, convincing your audience that you're someone worth listening to, someone trustworthy, someone who possesses authority. We gain this by excelling in three areas: clarity, knowledge, and attitude. Clarity is an absolutely necessary element of our case. Of course, an audience needs to be able to understand our arguments before they can be persuaded by them. The best way to be a clear communicator is to present your argument in a way that follows an organized thought process built around a central thesis. This thesis is the main thing we want our audience to remember and believe. It is both the first thing our audience should hear and the conclusion of our argument. Once we establish our thesis, we need to articulate the reasons that we believe this thesis to be true. These reasons are the premises to our conclusion. We need to make a list of talking points that summarize why we believe what we believe. Finally, arrange those talking points with their support in an order that begins with your thesis, lists the point in a logical progression, and concludes with your thesis again. When our audience can follow our reason through our argument to our conclusion, the simple outline of our points makes it easy for them to understand what we're saying and be persuaded by it. Next key to our credibility: knowledge. Knowing the information behind the issues makes us much more compelling and persuasive communicators. While it takes work to know the background and details of an issue, if we truly desire to persuade people, it's a worthwhile effort. Doing our research and getting our facts right enhances our ability to convince people. Our knowledge is tested when we're questioned about the details of our argument. We need to be ready to give accurate answers when people want to know why we believe what we believe. When crafting arguments, we might want to think beforehand about potential questions our audience may ask. With that in mind, it's okay to not be an expert on everything. It's okay to say, "I don't know," sometimes. But when we say "I don't know," we need to be ready to follow it up by saying, "I don't know the exact details you're looking for, but I do have this reason to believe what I believe." Remember, the focus is on our argument. So, if we can always be supporting it and pushing it into the spotlight, it will be much more persuasive. Finally, we should never waste questions we don't know the answer to. Find the answer. Our argument should grow stronger every time we use it. Now, like it or not, our attitude is what our audience will remember the most about us. Everything about our behavior contributes or detracts from our ability to influence people persuasively. Often the best way to be persuasive is to have a good attitude. An important component of a good persuasive attitude is sincerity. Sincerity signals a compelling argument to your audience. It commands attention by showing that there's substance to it. Sincerity also demonstrates confidence in the merits of your argument. Honest and forthright discussion allows your audience to trust you and your claims. Also, maintain calm to be persuasive. While passion is good and necessary, calm and rational discussion often goes much further when you're trying to convince others. Calm also indicates confidence. A calm speaker isn't panicking at the thought of being judged or challenged. They have faith in the strength of their argument and in their own ability to present it well. That calm confidence gives us that persuasive authority. Finally, and most importantly, graciousness is essential if we're truly trying to persuade others. Respect is earned through respect. If we alienate our audience through anger, lecturing, stereotypes, or harshness, we can't persuade them to join us in our beliefs. Watching our tone and ensuring that we're speaking graciously and respectfully goes so far in making sure that our audience is listening to what we're saying, rather than being distracted or turned off by our harshness. All of these things, clarity, knowledge, and a good attitude, ensure that our audience is open to what we have to say, allowing us to be as persuasive as possible. That's all for this episode of The Art of Persuasion. Tune in next time for the last of our three components, pathos. I'm Lauren Zammit. Thanks for joining me.